Hello students, today we are going to continue the lesson Unit 21 Nutrition and Health. In this video, I am going to continue with the topic Food Hygiene. So food hygiene are the conditions and measures necessary to ensure the safety of food from production to consumption. So food can be contaminated at any point during slaughtering or harvesting, processing, even storage, distribution, transportation, and also in preparation. So poor personal hygiene may allow pathogenic microorganisms to cause food spoilage. So the lack of adequate food hygiene can lead to foodborne diseases and death of the consumer. So food spoilage is an undesirable change in the normal state of food, and it is not suitable for human consumption. Nowadays, we are used to hear and read news headlines about outbreak of foodborne diseases. Examples of foodborne outbreaks that happened only in the last years include E. coli, the infection which is linked to the grounded beef and ready-to-eat chicken salad. Even it also linked to the dairy products. Even it may linked to the cucumbers, and even it linked to the frozen berries, etc. The list continues. Among all types of foods, the most common food source of fatal infections is meat and poultry. In brief, food hazards can be found in all types of food, and they can be introduced at any stage of the food chain, from primary producers to the final consumption. So the signs of food spoilage include a change in appearance, color, texture, odor, and taste. So sometimes even the large companies fail to comply with even the most basic food safety practices. So their products result to being unsafe. In most cases, these breaches may have serious impact on consumers' health. So we have to be very curious about our personal hygiene. In both industrial and domestic food preparation, maintaining good personal hygiene while handling food is very important to prevent foodborne illness. So the food handlers should pursue the highest possible standards of personal hygiene to make sure that food does not become contaminated by food safety hazards. So the following are some general good hygienic practices that everyone is preparing food should consider. So we have to wash our hand regularly and effectively with a clean water and soap, especially before and after preparing the food, before and after using kitchen utensils, after going to the toilet, and after handling raw food or waste or chemicals. Sneezing or coughing into hands or touching hair, nose, or mouth while handling the food should be avoided. In cases when these actions cannot be avoided, hands should be washed. So we have to avoid unsanitary habits such as eating, drinking, chewing, and smoking while working with food. Personnel working in food handling areas should wear suitable, clean, and where necessary protective clothing such as hair restraints, gloves, and aprons. So the main thing is microorganism, which is growing in particular bacteria, are capable of growing over a wide range of temperatures. So the way the food is cooked is as important as the way it is prepared and stored. So the people to food contamination. It is the most common way of food cross contamination, and it occurs when people working with food do not carefully follow good hygiene practices. Untrained and unaware employees are the main source of food cross contamination. For this reason, the people on good personal hygiene practices, and we have to monitor ourselves on adequate hand washing, and we have to take care of our hand, and we have to use correct gloves, etc. These are the special measures that can help spreading hazards and prevent the cross contamination in food. So now, the factors which are responsible for food spoilage includes internal factor and external factor. So internal factors. So what does it mean, the internal factor? It includes enzymatic activities and moisture content of the food. We could see in a bread, literally it has a moisture content because of the yeast. So the fungus may form on the layer on the bread due to its moisture content. So we have to store it properly. So once the bread packet is opened or it haven't closed tightly, the fungus may form it on the layer of each bread very easily. Also the enzymatic activities. So every fruit is ripening because of the enzymatic activities which is happening inside the fruit. So when the fruit is kept unhygienic or it may not be stored properly, the enzymatic activities inside the fruit may work out properly, may work out easily in a very fast manner, so that the fruit get contaminated easily. Once the fruit get moisture, the flies may attack the fruits, so that the microorganism can enter the fruit or vegetable easily. Then external factors. So external factor includes adulterants to food. So adulterants. So as I said in the previous class, what does mean by adulterants? The unwanted substances or flavor or a particular taste material which is added to the particular food item is called as adulterant. The chemical substance which is adding to attract people is called as adulterants. Then contaminated utensils. The vessels which we are using in the kitchen or in the food area, it should be properly cleaned and dried. See, once it is not cleaned properly, the microorganisms can enter into the utensil easily. So before cooking, we have to wash our utensils easily. Okay, we have to wash regularly so that we can prevent the entry of microorganisms. Unhygienic cooking area. So after cooking or before cooking, we have to clean the kitchen properly, or we have to clean the gas stoves properly. Sometimes we could observe the oil resins on the floors, the walls. So again and again we are cooking at the same place. The evaporation which is heating the resins may melt and fall into your food, and through that your microorganism can affect your food and your food can easily get contaminated. And lack of storage facilities. So after preparing a food items, we have to close it properly, we have to store it properly. For example, pickles. So if we are making a pickle, we have to close it properly with a tight container. So without closing the pickle properly, we can observe the formation of fungus as a layer in the pickle within 3 or 4 days due to the moisture content which is in the pickle. So we have to store it properly.